Chapter: The Sea Serpent Attack. The team moved cautiously across the narrow canal bridge, its ancient stones slick with moisture and age. Beneath them, the water shimmered faintly with bioluminescent light, glowing veins of metramite weaving through the depths. Lena paused mid-step, crouching by the edge of the bridge, her gloved fingers brushing over a cluster of glowing flowers growing from cracks in the stone. "This soil, this whole ecosystem, it's unlike anything I've ever seen," she murmured, her voice tinged with wonder. "The glow, the plants, it's like the metramite is woven into every living thing here." "Fascinating," Jace quipped, adjusting his grip on his rifle. "But can the glowing flowers not try to kill us for 5 minutes?" Miles scanned the area, his sharp eyes darting to every shadow and ripple in the water below. His voice was calm but firm. "Demon, stay sharp. This place isn't just dangerous. We're the danger here. We're the invaders." Demon nodded, his hand resting on the hilt of his knife. "Understood, boss. I'll keep us covered." The team moved cautiously across the narrow canal bridge, their boots slick with moisture. The only sound was the distant hum of water flowing through glowing canals and the occasional whisper of wind through the ruins. Miles paused mid-step, his gaze narrowing as he stared down at the water. Something felt off. The surface, once gently rippling with the ocean's movement, had gone still. Too still. Lena, crouched beside a cluster of bioluminescent plants, frowned. "The water's not moving anymore." Theo glanced down, adjusting his glasses. "That's unnatural." Jace shifted uneasily, gripping his rifle tighter. "Yeah, see? This is the part in the movie where the dumb guy says, 'I don't like this,' and then something eats him." A faint vibration pulsed beneath their feet. Miles tensed. "Kira, what's going on?" Kira's voice crackled over the comms, sharp with urgency. "Hold on, I'm getting something. Movement beneath you. It's big, really big." Then, the water beneath the bridge exploded upward. A massive, sinuous form shot out, its enormous coils spanning the entire bridge, muscles rippling like tidal waves. Shimmering scales caught the glow of metramite veins beneath the surface. Mist and seawater sprayed into the air as the serpent broke through, its body eclipsing the ruins like a rising monolith. "Move!" Miles shouted, already raising his weapon. The warning came a split second too late. The serpent lunged, its shimmering blue-green scales rippling as it coiled above them. Its eyes burned with predatory intelligence, an eerie glow radiating from deep within. It let out an unearthly screech that echoed across the ruins. Miles fired off a series of precise shots. The bullet struck its thick scales, causing the creature to recoil, but only for a moment. Then, with terrifying speed, it whipped its massive tail around and slammed it into the bridge. The impact was devastating. The ground cracked beneath them, ancient stones groaning as the entire structure trembled. Theo stumbled, his arms flailing as he nearly toppled into the glowing canal below. "I'm falling!" he yelled, panic lacing his voice. Lena lunged, grabbing Theo's arm just in time. "Got you!" she gasped, her face pale but determined. The serpent roared, its massive coils rising above the bridge like a nightmare brought to life. It lunged toward the team, its jaws wide and fangs gleaming. Miles didn't hesitate. He dashed forward, firing another volley of shots, each one aimed at the serpent's glowing eyes. "Demon!" Miles shouted, his voice cutting through the chaos. "Jace, keep it distracted!" Demon leaped into action, dodging the serpent's snapping jaws and slicing at its side with his knife. His movements were quick and precise, each strike aiming for the creature's vulnerable underbelly. "This thing's tougher than it looks!" he called out, narrowly avoiding the serpent's tail as it swung toward him. Jace, meanwhile, grabbed a broken metal rod from the ruins and charged at the serpent with reckless bravado. "This is for every nightmare I've ever had about snakes!" he yelled, jabbing the rod into the serpent's side. The creature let out a deafening screech, twisting and thrashing in pain. The serpent's massive coils slammed into the bridge again, sending chunks of stone tumbling into the canal. The team scrambled to maintain their footing as the structure groaned under the assault. Miles darted toward Theo, who was still struggling to find his balance, and pulled him back to safety. "I've got you," Miles said, his grip firm. "Stay close and don't stop moving." Kira's voice crackled through their comms again. "Miles, something else is coming. Wait, what the hell is that?" The water beneath the serpent churned violently, and then, from the depths, a massive octopus emerged, its tentacles each lined with glowing bioluminescent patterns wrapped around the serpent with terrifying strength. The two creatures clashed in a violent, otherworldly battle, their massive forms thrashing and sending waves crashing against the ruins. "Everyone, fall back!" Miles shouted, ushering the team off the bridge. "Now!" The team scrambled toward the safety of the plaza as the bridge buckled beneath the weight of the monstrous battle. The serpent screeched and thrashed, its tail smashing into ruins and canals as the octopus's tentacles tightened around it. The glow of their bioluminescent bodies lit up the water in a kaleidoscope of colors, a breathtaking and terrifying display. The octopus's strength was unmatched. With a final, thunderous rip, it tore the serpent in half, sending a shower of glowing blood and viscera into the water. The serpent's remains sank slowly into the depths as the octopus began to feed, its massive tentacles dragging the lifeless coils beneath the waves. The team regrouped on the far side of the plaza, their breaths ragged and their faces pale. The bridge behind them collapsed with a loud crack, sending debris tumbling into the glowing canal below. The team stood frozen, their chests heaving, adrenaline still pumping. The bridge where they had fought moments ago was now nothing but jagged rubble sinking into the glowing canal. The serpent had been colossal. At its full length, its sinuous body had easily spanned the entire bridge, its thick, muscular coils wrapping around the structure like an anaconda crushing its prey. Its girth alone had been wider than a man's torso, its shimmering blue-green scales pulsating with metromite energy. When it had reared up to strike, it had towered over them like a building, its head casting a long shadow beneath Atlantis's eerie glow. Theo, still catching his breath, wiped a trembling hand over his face. "We just watched a battle between two creatures that shouldn't even exist. I don't know what's more terrifying, that we survived or that there could be more of them." Lena, kneeling by the edge of the canal, watched as bioluminescent residue swirled in the water. "This changes everything." Her voice was hushed, reverent. Metromite didn't just power the Atlanteans, it shaped their entire ecosystem. Their wildlife, their plants, even their predators evolved alongside it. This isn't just an ancient city, it's an entirely different world, Jace exhaled, gripping his makeshift weapon. "A world that tried to eat us." Miles, still gripping his rifle, stared at the now calm waters. "And it's been waiting for something to wake it up." Then, beneath the glowing waves, a dark shape lingered. The octopus hadn't left. It drifted just below the surface, its massive tentacles barely visible through the shifting glow of metromite-rich waters. For a long moment, it didn't move. It simply watched. Lena swallowed hard. "It's studying us." Theo adjusted his glasses, voice quiet. "Number, it's deciding." Then, with an eerie grace, the octopus slowly unfurled one massive tentacle, stretching toward the surface as if reaching for them. The glow of its bioluminescence pulsed once, then dimmed, fading like a heartbeat slowing to stillness. And just as suddenly, it curled back, retreating into the abyss. Its massive form faded, disappearing into the depths, leaving behind only a swirl of glowing mist. A heavy silence settled over the team. Miles tightened his grip on his rifle. "Atlantis isn't just ruins, it's alive!" Miles turned to his team, his voice steady despite the chaos they'd just survived. "Everyone okay?" he asked, his sharp eyes scanning each of them for injuries. Theo nodded shakily, still clutching Lena's arm. "Thanks to Lena, yeah." Lena gave a faint smile, her hands trembling slightly. "That was too close." Jace let out a nervous laugh, leaning on his weapon. "I'm definitely going to need therapy after this." Demon sheathed his knife, his expression grim but resolute. "That was insane, but we're alive. Everyone stay sharp if the wildlife here is anything like that serpent. This place is more dangerous than we imagined." As the team caught their breath, the glowing waters of Atlantis settled once more, their surface deceptively calm. But the memory of the battle lingered in the air, a reminder that Atlantis was as deadly as it was beautiful.